What's up, guys? Abstract Tiger Productions here. I'm Chris.
I'm Drew.
And we are back with a brand new episode of RWBY. Well, I say brand new to you. Not
Everything's
me.
new to me.
Yeah. So, last time on RWBY, we had Penny.
Yes.
You were right. I couldn't say anything.
Ish.
Yes. We had a discussion.
Yes.
She's more android-like rather than just straight robot.
Yep.
I would consider the Elysian Knights to be more robotic in nature. I would consider them to be more of a VI or a virtual intelligence rather than an AI. Because they do have some base rudimentary like problem solving type of that thing, because they are military style and they have to have some sort of like battle strategy, that sort of stuff.
Talking about the Elysian Knights?
Yes. Programmed
so
into them to a certain extent.
Would they be more battle droid or tactical droid?
I would say probably B1 battle droid.
Okay.
But
Roger.
Yeah, without the cheesy goofiness of the B1 battle droid. I would consider them more along the lines of like the B2 super battle droids.
Okay.
Yeah. In terms, well, at least this new line that Ironwood introduced to the population.
Right.
So we also had that. We also had our team split up and have the different little mission things that are going on.
Yeah. So
Ruby was supposed to go to with Weiss, but then she bumped into Penny.
Yep.
Yay, Penny. And so Weiss had to go to the CCTV communication tower all by herself. And she put out a very fake smile and happiness contacting her family. Little forced chat.
She talked to her receptionist.
Yeah, she talked to her receptionist, which kept trying to get her to contact her father, which obviously with her reaction, she doesn't really want to talk to her father at all.
Right.
And but she can't make it obvious that, she, has a problem with that. So she just, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's for a school project. You also, we didn't mention it in the review last week, but name dropped Weiss's older sister. Winter, yeah. Okay, just name dropped. We hadn't seen her yet.
Yeah, but didn't Weiss talk about her sister?
Yeah, I think maybe just briefly.
When she was breaking down all about the dust.
I think maybe, or something like that, or at least something.
Yeah, so
it could have been also one of the arguments with Blake before, the Blakiness, Blake was a fondest thing.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And on that, Blake and Son, their mission was to infiltrate White Fang.
Yes, we have yet to see that yet. And Yang was going to go see someone who basically was, had basically their ear to anything and everything that was going on in Vale.
Yep, and Neptune was going with her.
Yeah, because Ruby shoved him into that.
Like a cardboard cutout, I believe is the way you phrased it.
Yes. He was very stiff, and Weiss wanted him to go with her.
Yeah.
And poor Jean, he just kind of got turned down.
No. And yes. Okay, so I'm a little confused. I thought that... So did Pyrrha just get friend-zoned by Jean since he's still pursuing Weiss? Because I'm telling... ever since like the first time those two met, I'm seeing like eyes at each other between Pyrrha and Jean. And then the whole... him being bullied by Cardin, and then her teaching him how to fight. The whole thing.
I can only say one word, and you could probably guess what it is. Spoilers.
Also, apparently, Sun likes to climb trees, and Neptune hangs out on their ledge, scaredly. But yeah, that's basically. And Penny stopped a truck.
Yes.
The
a la Superman style.
Yeah,
Supergirl style.
almost identical, except for the pick up and drop back down thing.
Yeah.
It was just a full stop.
Yeah.
But it was the same from Dusk Till Dawn truck.
Yeah.
That we seen the shop get messed up, reopened.
He's like the cabbage guy.
I was gonna ask
Avatar.
if he's the cabbage guy.
Yeah, he's like the cabbage guy.
Does he just keep showing up and being like, "Oh man, my cabbages"?
No, he's not tortured like that poor cabbage merchant guy. Let's put it that way. But he does make a lot of appearances.
Okay, so between, I'm gonna put it in this terms, and you just say one or two. Is he more ice cream guy from Lilo and Stitch? That literally he drops his ice cream every episode, or is he the cabbage guy from Avatar?
I'm not going to say those are probably more similar than probably what you're thinking, but I'm going to say option 3.
Fill in your own blank.
Yes. He does show up a lot, but it's not all the time that something is bad happening to him.
Okay. So it's not. He's not there for the.
He's there.
Comic.
Yeah, I mean, he is there for the comic stuff, but not all the time. It's nothing bad happening to him.
Okay.
So. Excuse me.
That's all I've got in my notes, and that was my main question.
Okay.
Is there a reason that they keep showing, or is it just because that is the primary dust shop in Vale?
I mean, I could see it not in Vale, but maybe around Beacon area. Beacon.
Okay.
Yeah, the town that they're. Yeah.
I didn't know if it was in regards to such a limited scope, because between Volume 1 and Volume 2, obviously their budget expanded. They can be a little bit more detailed.
I think,
but I didn't know if it was
one of the more prominent ones.
Okay.
I'm sure there are others, but I think it's probably going to be one of those more prominent ones.
I love the name.
Yeah.
Great job, Monty. On the From Dusk Till Dawn. Let's just it flows well.
They could have easily made him look like George Clooney.
Or Quentin Tarantino. One of his few acting credits that wasn't his own movie.
All right. Anything else before we get into this week's episode?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. All right.
There's a point where it dips, there's a point where it breaks, there's a point where it bends, and a point we just can't take
Is
anymore.
the theme growing on you a little bit more, or is it pretty much the same still?
Now that I actually understand the lyrics, it's growing on me. It's very drum heavy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
No. Which I guess you can say it's one of an album where you like things like coming into line a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand. Most girls are born, but I was made. I'm the world's first synthetic person capable of generating an aura. I'm not real.
Aww.
Of course you are. You think just because you've got nuts and bolts instead of squishy guts makes you any less real than me? I don't, You're taking this extraordinarily well. You're not like those things we saw back there. You've got a heart and a soul. I can feel it. Oh, Ruby, you're the best friend anyone could have. I can see why your mother would want to protect such a delicate flower. Oh, he's very sweet. My father's the one that built me. I'm sure you would just love him. Wow. He built you all by himself? Well, almost. He had some help from Mr. Ironwood. The general? Wait, is that why those soldiers were after you? They like to protect me too. They don't think can protect yourself. They're not sure if I'm ready yet. One day, it will be my job to save the world. But I still have a lot left to learn. That's why my father let me come to the Vital Festival. I want to see what it's like in the rest of the world and test myself in the tournament. Penny, what are you talking about? Save the world from what? We're in a time of peace. That's not what Mr. Ironwood said.
Uh-oh.
You have to hide. Help, Penny! What are you doing? You don't have to go with them! I can help you! It's okay, Ruby. They're not bad people. I just don't want you to get in trouble. Just promise me you won't tell anyone about my secret.
Yeah, okay.
I promise.
We saw how that worked with Yang.
Why were you running? And what happened to the other girl?
What girl? I've been by myself all day.
You shouldn't cause such a scene. Are you okay?
Just a scratch.
Penny, your father isn't going to be happy about this. Please, just come with us.
Okay.
Mouse. Oh. Let's see if you recognize this.
Is it the same nightclub from her trailer?
And where exactly is here?
Yup.
Hurry, close the door! She's coming! What are you two idiots doing? Junior, she's here.
Guess who's back?
The version of Dead Mouse, I guess.
Friend for me? Stop! Nobody shoot. Blondie, you're here. Why?
You still owe me a drink.
What a woman. Stop.
No, not even. Oh.
This is it.
You sure?
Well, they're acting simultaneously.
I'm
Okay.
Word for it.
Oops. Taking.
New recruits, keep to the right.
She would have to, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Get it. If you believe what you're doing is right, why hide who you are?
The masks are a symbol. Humanity wanted to make monsters out of us, so we chose to don the faces of monsters.
Grim masks. That's kind of dark.
So was the guy who started it.
Always sunshine and rainbows with you.
Thank you all for coming. For those of you who are joining us for the first time tonight, allow me to introduce a very special comrade of ours. I can assure you, he is the key to obtaining what we have fought for so long. Thank you! Thank you! Please, hold your applause.
What's a human doing here?
I'm glad you asked, dearie. Now, I'll be
Ugh.
the first to admit,
That was a pun.
humans
Because she was a deer
are
faunus.
Saw that.
Case in point. So, I understand why you would love to see us all locked away, or better yet, killed.
But
So is he going somewhere with this, or?
I'd like to mention the fact that you and I all have a common enemy.
The ones in control, the people pulling the strings, the dirty, rotten humans that run our kingdoms. Government, military, even the schools, they're all to blame for your lot in life. And they're all pests that need to be dealt with. Fortunately, I'm the best exterminator around. No offense to any rodents in the room.
Yeah.
What?
That's a big robot.
How did he get that?
As some of you may have heard, this right here is Atlas's newest line of defense against all the scary things in the world. And thanks to my employer, we've managed to snag a few before they hit the shelves. Now, many of your brothers have already moved down to our new operation in the southeast. If you'd rather stay within the city, that's fine. But if you're truly ready to fight for what you believe in, this is the arsenal I can provide you. Any questions?
Well, he played the crowd very well. You have a giant mech.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How can you not know?
I haven't talked to him. I haven't even seen him since the night you first came in here. He paid up front, I lent him my men, and none of them ever came back.
So where did they go?
Really?
What kind of stupid question is that? They never came back. Who is this guy?
Don't worry about him. Worry about me if I don't find out what I want.
I already told you everything.
He went to the position of attention.
Yeah.
But I guess he wasn't happy with them. Which is something I can relate to.
Come on, Neptune.
We get everything we need?
Well, we got everything we can. Hopefully the rest of the team is having better luck.
I don't know if luck is the right.
I mean,
Better luck.
Blake's getting some good answers.
Or at least getting more.
Sees us.
Just wave at him. That's not.
He can't see in the dark.
He can't see in the dark, but Faunus can.
Right.
Is he in the mech?
So you wouldn't have to have, I don't know, some form of backup?
Everyone, if you can hear me, we need
They got a robot, and it's big, really big.
I am not missing this.
The torture guy is in it, but not like, it didn't eat him. He's like controlling it or something.
It didn't need him. He's controlling it.
Never mind.
I think that was them.
Yeah, I got it.
Yes, he is in the thing. So.
You gotta slow it down.
Got it.
Hold on.
Let's say, is he actually going to do something now? Contact rear. Nice.
Neptune, hang on.
Oh, this is his semblance.
Yeah. Monkey King.
Shadow Clone Jutsu. Well, you've seen Naruto. Yeah.
I haven't seen Naruto, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Nice. What?
I'm sorry, was that a hologram?
Yeah. I would say more like a hard light barrier as opposed to something like concrete.
Okay.
Freezer me!
Make it foggy, so harder to see.
Yeah. obviously they found this mech's weakness. It doesn't do well in low visibility.
Ooh.
Checkmate.
I love that they have team maneuvers at this point.
Yeah.
Which means at some point they started listening. Okay.
Back in the legs. Good tactic. Punch, punch, punch.
Think of the walking thing?
Oh. Ah! Punched through the barrier.
Yeah.
Yay! Don't worry. With each hit, she gets stronger, and she uses that energy to fight back.
Hey.
That's what makes her special.
Super Saiyan!
Yeah. Red eyes too.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty legit.
We have to slow it down. And how do you propose we do that? Ice flower.
Oh.
Nice.
Yes.
Just got this thing clean. Ladies, ice cream? Always a pleasure. Neo, if you would.
Mio?
Neo.
I'm sorry. What?
So I guess you got a new henchman.
Yeah, I guess she really made our plans fall apart.
No. Just no.
What? Hey, you do it.
There's a time and a place for jokes.
Was this not it?
No, it just wasn't very good.
Well, wait, where are Sun and Neptune?
They're probably fine.
A
right?
simple walk noodle.
Probably.
You notice Neptune has got a kind of a sort of trident?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was Neo?
Yes.
Like Matrix?
No, not Matrix. It's
I'm wondering about the spelling.
Not here. I don't know if she gets a credit. No, she does not get a credit.
I'd say she spoke. I would assume so.
No, she did not speak. That's the thing. She's mute.
I thought she went or something like that.
Well, she just smiled, but
Oh.
well then, there's your fight, sort of a fight.
I was surprised. I thought it was going to be after the volume or episode 3, where it was Penny, Weiss, and Ruby. I figured that this one would be another team centric. I didn't think that they were going to bring all 3 of them to a conclusion on one episode. That
Well.
surprised me. And Roman has a mech. Well,
had a mech.
Had a mech.
For about 15 minutes, and then it just got trashed.
But he said he had multiple.
yes.
He said we snagged a few of these before they
We
hit
got
the
the
shelves.
shelves, yeah. And who knows how many a few are. It's not really stated, but Yes.
First synthetic being that's capable of producing aura.
Yes.
Okay. I'm guessing the big mystery that surrounds, other than not learning that Penny is an android, is now who is the father. I'm guessing is the next big question. Because they make it seem like they don't say a name, they just keep saying father.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's referring to him as father, not necessarily by his proper name or anything like that. Because,
Well, I'm talking about even the guards. They were like, your father wouldn't be happy about this.
Yeah. Well, they're treating her kind of like a kid, a little kid.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's like going up to like a 3 or 4 year old and trying to refer to their father as by their proper name, and they only know him as daddy or something of that nature.
Okay.
I think of it that way, in that terms, to a certain degree. Even though obviously she's personality-wise a little bit more mature in some areas. She's not like a toddler or anything like that, but you know, she's still learning about the world around her. So
okay, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Let's see. We also had Penny being shocked about how easy Ruby was just kind of like, you know,
surprisingly well.
Yeah, very well.
Yeah. Like
and I like the way
she zoomed in on her face, like she was like, "Are you a robot too?"
It was like, I don't understand, but you know, I like whenever Penny gives Ruby the hug, it's like Ruby's like, yeah, I can see why your father wants to protect a delicate flower like you.
As she's suffocating. Yeah. Also, when she poked her in the chest and it did the audible thunk. Yeah. I was like, that was on purpose. That was not just there. That was, they made a point to go thunk. So I'm wondering what type of metal they use for her exoskeleton if she's able to endure that much. Only because
I don't know, it's probably some sort of titanium alloy of some sort.
Well, she seems to be better made than that paladin.
Right.
That's why I was saying.
The paladin I can probably see more of like out of plate steel or something of that nature, more generally.
Well, it was able to take quite a few laser blasts, I guess, from Neptune's.
Yeah, or whatever it was. Yeah, I'm sure it has some sort of thickness to the armor, but having obviously a team that works well together, a squad versus just one, and you could probably get the feel that these things are not supposed to be work individually. They're supposed to be within a group of some of them, and also being maybe backed up by the Elysian Knights themselves too. So being operating on its own like that, I can see where Roman would have easily just jumped in the thing, just kind of like as a thing where it's like, okay, you know, kind of give somewhat of an edge. But yeah,
I like that Blake explained why they use the grim masks for the White Fang.
Yeah,
I've been wondering about that. I was like, why?
Well, like she said, the humans wanted to portray them as monsters, so they just kind of, all right, we're just gonna own that and just make a monster mask, and
it was a graveyard smash.
Oh, gee.
No. You brought that upon yourself. You brought that upon yourself. Oh, man.
Boy. So, okay.
Okay.
I'm just kind of, we got to meet Neo somewhat, briefly.
I'm going to put this down as an possible spelling.
Well, I don't know. I mean, eventually we'll find out her full name. I mean, it's not. Neo is not the name. I mean, it's like Christopher is my full first name, but I go by Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it kind of like that.
Right.
And if you think about the dual or the three colors
Mhm.
that make up her, I guess her look,
Mhm.
I guess you can say. Think about
Oh, okay. So it's like Neapolitan.
Neapolitan.
Okay.
Yes.
So chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry.
Strawberry. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense now. But it is still Ennio.
Yes.
Okay.
Like.
I wasn't saying when I was asking if it was like Matrix. I was talking about the spelling. I wasn't talking about
okay.
is she like the one.
Yes.
No, I was just legitimately wanting to make sure I
Okay.
spelled
Yes,
it right.
Yes. I mean, she's Neapolitan without the
No, I want
politan.
ice cream. No, I want ice cream. I hate you.
Ice cream does sound good.
It does. I have some Rocky Road at the house.
At this point, it is like July 25th in Arkansas, and it
Mhm.
is hot outside.
97 feels like 108, I think is what it was when I was driving over here.
Yay for heat index!
Yeah. Other parts of the world don't understand how the South feels about the feels like, but the feels like makes it go from to so yeah.
And we understand that there is like heat in other parts of the world. We understand that, but this is anyways.
After I got off work yesterday, I went swimming at the pool at my apartment for like the second time, and I've lived there over a year. And I was like, oh, this feels so good.
I can't really do public or anything like that anymore because I got spoiled because my mom and dad, they have a salt pool.
Oh.
Yeah, pool, and I got so used to
spoiled right there.
Yeah, you don't have that chemical stench. Anyways, moving on from that conversation back to Ruby.
They can go swimming. They'll have a pool day at some point. They had a food fight. They'll have a pool day.
Yeah, well, there's a thing. This got really, really popular. The show got ridiculously popular over in Japan.
Right.
So they had, I think it was more like season 3 or whatever like that. We got, actually got a Japanese voice cast.
Okay.
And, for the dubbing and stuff like that. And
right.
whatnot. And in for those of you who don't know, in a lot of Japanese media, especially like in anime or their cartoons or whatever,
mm-hmm.
there's always something called a beach or a hot tub episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They kept asking as the show went on, when are the executives over the dubbing and the voice cast in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
They kept asking when are they going to have that in RWBY,
mm-hmm.
and they had to say, it's like, well, that's not a thing here in America. We don't really do that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, yeah, we're not going to get a beach scene per se.
No pool party.
No pool parties or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see what else we had. Basically, before the Paladin fight, we had Roman Torchwick just kind of playing to the crowd.
Yep.
And being very successful at it, especially after he showed the giant mech.
Mm-hmm.
And that catches a lot of people's eyes. Like, ooh, if we join, we can have that?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do I sign up?
Right.
So, yeah. And of course, like a lot of... Well, I guess he was still kind of trying to play to the crowd just a little bit. That whole Agent of Chaos thing. Blaming it on the powers that be is the reason for people's problems.
Right.
Which, to a certain extent, yes. You can see that, the Faunus hadn't been really treated as equals.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really, it's been mentioned in the show, hasn't been really actually seen per se as of yet. But, you kind of get you have. I mean, it's something that you can really easily pick up
Mhm.
on. You know, and he just kind of obviously playing to that. Um, know thy audience.
Yeah.
And of course, being under the himself being under authority of Cinder and her dealings and whatnot. I'm sure this is part of her plan as well. So,
Yang went back to the nightclub with Neptune.
yes, and then had kind of an interesting conversation with the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Torchwick had hired some of his men, and none of them came back.
Yeah, because that was the fight at the night of the docks.
That was with the White Fang. No.
It's the fight with Ruby.
Yes,
in
Ruby
the
at the
dust
dust
shop.
shop. Yes.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because that was when we first met Cinder.
Yeah.
Yep.
And well, and that was about it of that. So
yeah,
and Neptune.
But that means he has a bone to pick with Roman, so he might end up being a potential ally in the future. That's me speculating, not asking, because I know you're not going to answer.
Yeah.
I know you're not going to answer.
Yeah.
You're too busy laughing at me for being dumb. So,
not being dumb. It's just I mean, unless you intentionally call somebody the wrong name. Over and over again. Even if it's for the lols.
I went this entire episode without calling him Indigo.
Yeah.
That is progress.
All right. Yes.
Until just now.
Yeah. Well. And of course, you only see him at the very beginning of the fight. Or whenever they are on the street, him and Son. And then they just disappeared.
I didn't notice that they disappeared. When they
Nobody
started doing
really
their
noticed
combos
until-
and everything, I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was what everybody was focused on. It's like, oh, that's cool, yay!
When the mech fell off of the plasma wall,
Yeah.
the light barrier,
Yeah.
that's when they disappeared. And I was like, okay, they started doing these really cool combos.
Yeah.
I never caught that they disappeared.
Yeah.
And I guess that was the point of the joke.
Yes, until Ruby asked, when did Neptune and Sun go? And then you see them
Eating.
at a noodle shop.
They had their own shawarma episode.
Yeah.
I know a place. It's not far from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I've got for that one. And it did a lot to set up this volume, but it was also somewhat self-contained. There was 3 separate missions, and they all kind of concluded together.
They did, to a certain extent, yes.
Where are you? Boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
So,
there we
okay.
go.
Never mind.
Never mind.
I did notice something, though.
Okay.
And I have not been paying attention to their clothes as much, but I did notice that when Yang was on her motorcycle, her pants had her symbol as well as her helmet.
Yeah.
So
they have a little bit of a different outfit in this volume for a little while, as opposed to their standard garb that they have been wearing.
I'm used to seeing them in their school outfits.
Yeah, yeah.
It's only been 3 or 4 times that I've seen them in their normal clothes.
Yeah.
Their civilian outfits, I guess.
Well, they're school uniform, I guess, for classwork and stuff like that. I would consider that those. Unless they're going out in the field, as it were.
But they made a point to have a clothes changing montage.
Yes.
Where they actually put on all their gear.
Yeah.
Because they knew they were going out.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and that was last
you're prepping
episode.
for battle to go make a phone call.
Yeah, well.
Sure. I mean, I'm glad you did, but sure. I don't know how many Grimm you'll run into in the middle of the city.
Well,
they seem to keep more to the forest areas, but sure.
So, I don't know if they were actually prepared for anything. Something. It's just might as well take this, just in case something goes down. Because, I don't know if it would be really something for facing with the groom, but, obviously the people that were orchestrated the whole dock thing, dealing with them if they ever.
Well, I'm sitting here like, does Yang always wear her shotgun gauntlets when she goes shopping for groceries?
No. I don't know if
I know Ruby's got.
Yeah.
Ruby's is like compactable, so she can carry it with her everywhere. But the shotgun gauntlets, those are kind of gonna stick out like a sore thumb. And then Blake basically, all she has to do is take off the bow, and she's a completely different. Yeah. So, and Sun again is like, why do you hide?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Because in that case, I didn't realize they were talking about physically the mask they were holding. I thought he was talking about the mask of her presenting herself as a human.
No, they were talking about the physical mask that they wear.
Right, but I thought it was like an undertone in his question. If you don't believe in this, why are you still wearing the mask? Like, I thought, or if you believe in this so greatly, something. I don't remember exactly what the wording was, but I read that until they actually showed the mask they were holding. I thought he was talking about the bow again. That's all I got.
I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, you had a little bit of thing. We had the RWBY and Penny thing at the beginning, which was kind of sort of resolved, and
she got thrown in a dumpster.
It's kind of funny. She just got picked up and just dropped into a dumpster.
Yeah. They're not bad people. I just don't want you to get in trouble.
Yes, which is, good.
Admirable.
Yeah, admirable. Yeah.
Don't know why the dumpster was necessary. You could have hit her behind the dumpster, not in it. From the angle they were talking, they would not have seen her. But sure.
But it's funnier to being in the dumpster than behind it.
I think I legitimately think that was just to show off that don't mess with Penny. She could take you out.
Well,
like, I'm going to show you just how much you should be intimidated by me. It reminded me a little bit of the season 4 premiere of Smallville when Lois is like, "Hey, buddy, you're not going anywhere. You're gonna have to get through me." And he just picks her up and puts her to the side, and she's like, "Well, that was weird," and he walks off. That's what it reminded me of. It was just like, I can do
okay,
whatever
all right,
I want.
I can deal with that.
Yeah,
you're out of my way now.
Hide. Yeah, that's all I've got. So
yeah. And to answer your question about the father thing, that's going to come way later.
But it is a significant thing that happens.
Sort of.
Okay.
But like I said, it's going to be a future thing. We'll actually get to meet him, who he is, and whatnot. And I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. So I guess until next time, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you do not miss any of our episodes. And also, if you want, you can check out our Patreon down in the description below. Until next time, bye-bye and be blessed.